Hey guys, welcome back to Hanging Out with Lori. How are you? I hope you are well. I hope that you are safe, that you are healthy, and I'm glad you're here. Today is another installment of the Birthstone Collab. I do this monthly collab with a lot of wonderful women, and all of their links will be down below so you can go check them out. This month is August. Obviously. This is August and this is my birth month, and I am excited to be talking about my birthstone. I will be honest, I did not like my birthstone as a child. I hated it. I thought it was deplorable. I thought it was ugly and that all these other gemstones were so much better than the Peridot. But times have changed, obviously. One, I've grown up, so I don't think anything is deplorable. But I also find the Peridot to be a beautiful, beautiful gemstone. Now, there are 3 gemstones for August. I have only ever known of Peridot or Peridot. Both pronunciations are acceptable. Now, some may say it's Peridot, some may say it's Peridot, but actually, both are acceptable. The other 2 gemstones that are in August is the Spinel gemstone, which has really been underappreciated until recently, when people have tried to find an alternative to the ruby that isn't as expensive. And the Spinel stone, it comes in a multitude of colors. It comes in intense red, vibrant pink, orange, purple, violet, blue, and bluish green. Then the other birthstone is the Sardonyx birthstone. So according to the National Association of Jewelers, oh wow, that went on darker than the other side. 2 birthstones have been the official birthstones of August since 1912, and that is the Peridot and the Sardonyx. I don't know when the Spinel started being recognized as a birthstone. I did not see that, but those are the 3 birthstones. But only Sardonyx and Peridot have been recognized by the National Association of Jewelers for the birthstone in August. Now, the Sardonyx was the original birthstone of August, dating back more than 4,000 years. So basically, she's in charge. She's large and in charge. I rearranged my room and now I can't find anything. Which is, I don't know if that's good or bad. But it is what it is. So the Sardonyx has been around for quite a while. I mean, over 4,000 years, being the birthstone of August. Yeah, I would say she's been around for a hot minute. I just used the shade right here called So Precious to set my primer. I am using ColourPop's So Jaded palette. This is a collab with Kathleen Lights. I thought I should say that since I'm digging in. So the Sardonyx, she's got a lot of history. I don't know why I'm calling her a she, but that's okay. We'll go on. I'm going to take this shade right here called You're a Gem. The Sardonyx is a combination of 2 types of chalcedony, which is a cryptocrystalline quartz. And those 2 types of chalcedony is sard and onyx. So the Sardonyx, that's how it came up with its name. The Sardonyx have bands of brownish red to brown to dark orange, sard with alternating with typically white or black layers of onyx. And that makes the Sardonyx one of the favorite gems for carvings. Carves. Yes. But today I am going to concentrate on the Peridot because, well, that's the only gemstone I have ever known and for my birth month. So I thought I would get to know this extremely gorgeous gemstone a little more and maybe fall in love with it some. So the Peridot is a gem quality form of the mineral olivine. Olivine is also referred to as chrysolite. It's formed under extreme conditions, which makes sense because Peridot is usually found among the rocks created by volcanoes. So, you know, igneous rocks. So wherever there are or were volcanoes, the Peridot is most likely to be found. Peridot has been found. This is really, I found very interesting. Peridot has been found in meteorites, but it's extremely rare. It's not all the time, but it has been discovered there. Peridot is a French word that is derived from the Arabic word Peridot, meaning gem. Jewelry with Peridot gems in it dates back as far as the ancient Egyptians from around 1500 BC. So that makes the Peridot one of the oldest gemstones. Egyptians referred to these green jewels as gems of the sun, which I thought was pretty cool because when you look at them, they're so clear, crystal clear, you know, with that hint of color that I kind of liked that gem of the sun. But also when you think about the sun, how hot it is, you know, all that bubbling hot lava formations. I mean, it is just one basically one humongous asteroid full of hot lava. And so since these are formed out of volcanoes and lava and ash, you know, then it only makes sense that they would think it's a gem of the sun. I mean, that might be stretching it a little, but that's kind of what my brain thought when I read that. I am going to take this shade right here. It's called Garnelian, I believe is what it says. And I am just going to put it in the outer corner of my lid and just a little into my crease. Well, the Peridot gemstone is mined mostly in Arizona, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, and China nowadays. Back in the olden days, Peridot was mined on the Egyptian island Topazios, which is now known as Zaberget. I've never heard of this island, so I'm going to have to do a little research to find out exactly where Zaberget is. It was only mined at nighttime because it was believed that the Peridot was not easily seen in the daylight. However, it was more likely that it was mined at night because the island is infested with snakes. That's the more probable answer, but you know, it sounds a little more romantic when you say that it was mined only at night because you couldn't see it otherwise. That's a little more romantic. For years, the Peridot has been confused with the emerald, and in fact, it is believed that the large, more than 200 carat gems that adorns the Shrine of the Three Kings at the Cologne Cathedral, it was long believed those were emeralds, but in fact, they're Peridots. It's also believed that Cleopatra's famous emerald jewels are in fact Peridots. It's believed that Napoleon gave Josephine a peridot as a symbol of his love for her, and in fact, the peridot throughout history has been confused with the topaz. As for the folklore of the peridot, in ancient times it was believed that the peridot was a gift from Mother Nature to celebrate the annual creation of a new world. Peridot is said to bring the wearer of the stone magical powers and healing properties to protect against nightmares. Romans referred to the peridot as the evening emerald because, unlike the deep hues of emeralds, peridot gemstones, they don't darken at night and they still shimmer under candlelight. It is believed that the peridot can ward off evil spirits. It's thought to aid in the success of marriage and other relationships. It is believed that the peridot encourages positive energy as well as suppresses the ego and jealousy. Wouldn't that be a handy tool in a relationship? I'm going to take citrine here and I'm just going to dust it above. I'm just going to take it lightly because I'm not sure about it. So let's talk about the color of the peridot really quickly. It's unlike most other gemstones because it only comes in one color, which is a pale green. However, within that pale green color, it comes in a wide variety of green shades, including olive green, lime green, yellowish green, and dark green. I think the most common one when we think about the peridot is like a lime green or a yellowish green, at least for me. But the most desirable shade of the peridot is a deeply saturated forest green with a slight yellow tone, but it has no brown tones in it whatsoever. This color of the peridot is mostly found in gems that weigh over 10 carats. So if you're wanting that really desirable shade, you're going to have to buy a big rock. That's the bottom line. There are no synthetic or man-made versions of the peridot, but there are imitations. They're usually made of glass or natural tourmaline, but no synthetic stones whatsoever. A commercial quality peridot comes in two separate grades. There's the A grade and the B grade. The A grade has an eye clean yellowish green stone with no brown tones. And then the B grade is very pale in color and it also has visible inclusions to it. Peridot gemstones, the most common size you find are ones that are smaller than 3 carats, while peridots that are over 5 carats are rare and higher in value. 10 to 15 carat peridot gemstones are even more rare, but they provide a big and bold look to anything that however you choose to mount it, whether it be a ring or a necklace. It's definitely a statement piece. Okay, I am going to take this shade right here called Peridot, oddly enough, and I am going to put it right in mid to corner of my lid, I should say. That's pretty. Now this is definitely like a sage green, and sage green is one of the ways that I found it to be described when I was researching. I did buy a Highliner by Marc Jacobs, and it's in the shade Peridot. This was my birthday present to myself. I thought there can't be a better time than now to pick up this beautiful eyeliner. And it is a light sage green. It's just really pretty, and it does have a shimmer to it. I mean, isn't that gorgeous? So I will be using this. I'm hoping it does not clash with the Peridot from the eyeshadow palette, because the one from the eyeshadow palette definitely has a lot more yellow to it, where the Highliner definitely is more of a lime green. Either way, it's gonna look pretty. All right, guys, this is my final look for August Birthstone Peridot, or Peridot, however you want to pronounce it. I love this birthstone. I hated it as a child, but now I've really embraced it. And now that I've learned more about it, I love it even more. I just like that it's one of the oldest birthstones around, and that it has been mistaken for the emerald many a time, because I personally think it is gorgeous. So the only changes I made was I took Becca's champagne pop and put it all the way over where I had Peridot, so I pulled it in from the corner all the way to the middle. Then I took Peridot and just tapped it over the middle. Why I did that is because the eyeshadow was clashing with the Peridot eyeliner by Marc Jacobs, Highliner, excuse me. And so because I had bought this, you know, one as a birthday present for myself, but two specifically for this look, I decided just to take the eyeshadow and make it not such a focal point and make this more of a focal point. I then lined my lower lash line with the Peridot Highliner, and this eyeliner by ColourPop, I will put the name down below. I can't read it, the print's too small. Then I put in my waterline, this Thrive Brilliant Eye Brightener. I also put it under on my brow bone. And then on my lips is Waikiki by ColourPop. I thought it matched the orange shades up on my lid very nicely. And so, yeah, that's what I went with. I hope you guys enjoyed this and the little factoids I had to give you for today's Birthstone collab video. I love my birthstone. I truly do. I didn't as a child, but I truly do now. I think it's one of the prettiest out there. And now that I've learned more about it, I love it even more. I love that people mistake it for the emerald, which I think is awesome. You guys, make sure you go check out the others. Their links are down below. Be safe, be smart, and I will talk to you on the next one. Bye.